Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of The Practiced Life, where we talk about consciously practicing. Consciously practicing. We've spent most of our lives unconsciously practicing patterns and reactions and things like that. So once we start practicing consciously, whew, so many things change. I'm calling today's episode The Nebulous Mist. I made that up a few years ago. I just love that so much. The nebulous mist. The nebulous mist. What do I mean by that? Well, when we're walking the path of transformation and we're doing this work and we're improving our focus and we're putting ourselves in the receptive mode and we're watching ourselves, observing ourselves with curiosity and without judgment, we're on the path of transformation, which means things are changing. Things are changing. We're reaching for something new, a new version of ourselves, a new version of our lives, which is the process of evolution and a much better process practiced consciously than just having the changing, shifting tides forced upon us, and we're just like a leaf on the wind floating around willy nilly. The experience is just so much more gratifying when we are part of the creative process of choosing the next version of ourselves and choosing the next version of our lives. But there is one sticky wicket, friends. And the sticky wicket is this. Once you start living like this, and listen, my forever teacher, my 20 plus years teacher is Abraham Hicks. So understand everything I say is very much infused with that simple, unwavering truth from infinite consciousness. The nebulous mist is what happens when we find ourselves doing this work. We're on the leading edge. We're on the leading edge of human expansion, of spiritual expansion. We understand that we are energy and everything is energy, and we are putting out a frequency, and what is a match to our frequency, people, place, things, is coming to meet us. And so if we tweak our frequency, if we pay attention to our frequency, if we focus on how we feel and adjust our frequency, then we often have a much, much better experience. Those are the building blocks of creation. But what happens when you're out there on the edge, you're not following the old patriarchal hooty hoo. The future is encased in what I call the nebulous mist. What's going to happen? What's it going to look like? What are the details? Where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing? Who am I going to be with? It is a state, a constant state of not knowing. And for many of us who have tried to fix, manage, and control our lives and the details of our lives, that can be very uncomfortable for a while. Until we let go, that can cause tremendous discomfort because we've been trying to control outcomes. We've been trying to control people. We've been trying to hang on to situations. We are not necessarily willing to shed our old skin and step into something new. We almost have to be dragged kicking and screaming by unpleasantness, by breakups and betrayals and unhappy situations, by all those beautiful no's, when we're trying to hold on to the old, but the new is pulling us away and we have to literally be yanked out of it. So here's what I'm doing for myself is understanding that it's okay and good for me to change my mind about not knowing. That the idea that I can control everything, people, places, and things, is an illusion. I have no control. And my need to fix, manage, and control is just part of old codependent patterns where I'm trying to create security for myself by controlling everything. I'm trying to feel safe. And so I can give myself lots of compassion for that. I'm just trying to feel safe. And those were my survival strategies from the time I was a kid. Those are the survival strategies of childhood that have now become patterns. So changing your mind about not knowing is a really great first step, and helping yourself get comfortable with not knowing. Like, it's okay not to know. It's kind of exciting not to know. I'm going to let the universe surprise me. That makes me think of something so funny. I have never liked surprises. I also really didn't like opening gifts, which is kind of like a bit of a surprise because the pressure of being happy about whatever the surprise is was too great for me. I don't want to have to drum up a big, oh, I love it. I mean, I just don't like surprises. But now, having worked on it for a while, because listen, what's coming next? You got surprise after surprise after surprise, my friends, in this human life. So now I say, I am eager to see what unfolds. And whatever unfolds is going to be good for me because I have trust in that. I am eager to see what the universe cooks up. The universe knows everything I want. I don't have to make one more list. The universe knows everything I want. I am eager to see how this path unfolds. I'm eager to see what's on the other side of this nebulous mist. And I'm no longer willing to be wired for disappointment. There is, and I think that's taught. I think being around people for a long time that are wired for disappointment, wired for waiting for the other shoe to drop, wired for worry, wired for awful outcomes, wired for feeling unlucky. I think that wires us for disappointment, which is why we're trying to control outcomes to begin with, instead of holding things lightly, relaxing, and gazing out from our leading edge position to the nebulous mist and seeing the nebulous mist as magic. Behind that magical curtain is the little creative factory where everything's being assembled. The party's being assembled. The guests are gathering. The food is being made. The music is playing. And on the other side of that curtain of nebulous mist is the next version of you and your life. And of course, it's going to be great. Of course, it's going to be great. And that's how I am rewiring myself for wonderful outcomes and for magic and for continuing to practice my knowing that everything is working out for me. So embrace that nebulous mist, my friends. Look at that nebulous mist as an exciting before moment, before you step into the next evolution. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Thank you for listening to another episode. And listen, there's a number of ways we can work together. Find out how at sherrysalata.com. Fantastic. Absolutely the best membership groups around, I think. The support system and the Prosper Network. We also have foundational courses and all kinds of stuff. So come work with us, sherrysalata.com, and I will see you on the next episode of The Practice Life. Thanks for listening.